Good morning, y'all. Thank you for joining me for some real talk from the heart this morning. This morning's real talk is from the book of James, chapter 4, verses 13 through 16. James 4, 13 through 16, our real talk from the heart this morning. Come now, you who say, today or tomorrow we will go to such and such a city and spend a year there, buy and sell and make a profit, whereas you do not know what will happen tomorrow. For what is your life? It is even a vapor that appears for a little time and then vanishes away. Instead, you ought to say, if the Lord wills, we shall live and do this or that. But now you boast in your arrogance. All such boasting is evil. Sitting here, reading through my chapters this morning, came back to this verse right here. This verse right here was really sticking out to me, and that phrase that James uses there, that question about what is your life. James is talking about the attitude of heart that really is just it's guiding its own way. It's guiding its own way. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. You say today or tomorrow we will go, right? We're gonna go here. We're gonna go there. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. But then James says, man, the reality of it all says you do not know what will happen tomorrow. Man, we don't know. We don't know with absolute surety the events of tomorrow in our lives and the lives of other people, people we love, people we care about. We don't know what tomorrow holds, but we do know who holds tomorrow. We know that for a fact. Right? We know the owner of time. The owner of time is the Lord. He asked this question, right? What is your life, man? Proverbs 27:1 says, do not boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what a day may bring forth. And so he asked the question, what is your life? What is your life? He says, it is a vapor that appears for a little time and then vanishes away. Earlier this morning, I went outside to put my sprinklers on, and it's a little bit cold out in the morning, so I could see my breath, right? I could see the vapor of my breath, and as soon as I saw it, it vanished away. Just that quick, that breath, that vapor was gone. And that's a description of life. He says, what is your life? He says, it's a vapor. It's a poof. It's a puff. That's all it is, man. Here 1 minute and gone the next. So the question is what are you going to do with that vapor, man? What are you going to do with that life? There are a lot of sayings, you'll see like t-shirts or slogans. They say like basketball is life, or, golfing is life, fishing is life, or whatever, camping and all these other things, that is life. It's a part of life. It's a part of life that, we have the freedom to enjoy, and I encourage you to enjoy those things that you like to do. There's nothing wrong with enjoying things that you like to do, those wholesome things. But those things aren't life. Listen, it's okay to make plans. It's okay to enjoy life. But listen, where is God at in your plans? When you're saying, oh, we're going to do this and we're going to go there. Have you checked in with the Lord and said, God, is that what you would have me to do with my time, the time that you've given me? I like this passage here because it's so profound, man, and it's so humbling. Look what he says here. I want to read this to you again. He says, instead you ought to say, now watch this next phrase here. If the Lord wills, we shall live. Think about that phrase there for a second, beloved. If the Lord wills, we shall live. We are not keeping ourselves alive. The Bible is very clear that the Lord holds the breath of all mankind in his hand. He is the giver of that breath. You can read about it in Genesis 2:7. God breathed into the man he formed, and man became a living being. Man has life because of the giver of life. He's given him the breath of life. And so if the Lord wills, we shall live. I'll see tomorrow if the Lord lets me see tomorrow. Same for you. So he says here, we shall do this or that. That says right there in that verse, we shall do this or that. As I thought about that, meditated just on that part right there, we shall do this or that. The question comes up, is that what the Lord wants us to do? We're going to do this and we're going to do that. But is that what the Lord wants, or is that what I want? Right? Am I asking the Lord, is this what you would have me to do with my life? I like that little phrase there, if the Lord wills. because it brings up the question: where does the Lord's will fit in my life? Where does the will of God fit into your life? Are you and I, living for the Lord's will, or are we simply saying that we belong to the Lord, and in reality we're living for our own will? This passage this morning was really getting me to think, like, Lord, okay, I can make all these plans, and I'm gonna do this tomorrow, and I'm gonna go here in next month or in August or whatever. I'm gonna do this. It's okay to make plans, but where's God at in my plans? And are those plans involving the will of God? The will of God for my life and for other people? Or am I just being selfish with my time? It's very easy to fall into that mindset and that attitude of heart that, it becomes really self-sufficient, and all those things. And then the last thing I wanted to touch on real quickly, man, because I know this is, of course, James writing to believers. James is writing to believers, and he's saying, hey, listen, you need to check in with God when it comes to your time and your plans and what you do and whose will it is that you live for. But I want to close with this this morning in this devotion, and just a quick word for the unbeliever or the uncommitted, the person who says, oh man, I got time to get right with God, or I got time to give my life to the Lord Jesus Christ, I'll do it later. Listen, he ends this passage right here. I want you to see this. He says, but now you boast in your arrogance, excuse me. He says, you boast in your arrogance. All such boasting is evil. You guys, arrogance boasts in time that it doesn't have. Right? Time that doesn't belong to them. As I mentioned, listen, God is the owner of time. He is sovereign over time. You and I are living on borrowed time, on his borrowed time. But arrogance boasts in time that doesn't belong to it. And so what I want to encourage you with, listen, if you're watching this video and you are uncommitted, you are an unbeliever, listen, right now, today is the day of salvation, man. Today is the day. God has given you grace for this moment, mercy for this moment, to give your life to him and to commit your life to him. Don't be arrogant and think that, oh, I can give my life to Christ later. I can commit my life to the Lord later. That is arrogant, and as he says here, all boasting, all that kind of boasting is evil, man. It's godless. And so I hope you'll consider that today. And then for you Christians, right? For us Christians, man, let's really, man, we are living on God's time, and time wasted is theft from God. And so are we using our God-given time for God's will? And in those things even that we love to do, those things that we love to enjoy, are we involving God in those things? I think it's worthy, because listen, what is our life, guys? It's a vapor. It's a vapor. Here one minute, gone the next. And we don't know about tomorrow. And so let's make the most of today. The Lord loves you. I love you too, praying for you, asking that you please be praying for me. Please be praying for me, man. I hope you have a great Thursday, and I hope you're following close to the Lord Jesus Christ. God bless y'all. Hope to talk to you tomorrow.